Good morning, USA, and welcome to another episode of the Bernie or Bust Show. I'll be speaking about the book Bernie or Bust, Pioneers of Electoral Revolt. I keep bringing this book up because it explains so well what neoliberalism is. Among other things, it also talks about the leverage strategy of the Bernie or Bust movement. But that's a topic for another day. Today we're going to try to figure out neoliberalism and the way it relates to capitalism. I'll start with a quote from the book that begins on page 209. The neoliberal order imbues a world economic system of competing private empires, subsystems called transnational corporations. The United States enforces the system of transnational corporate subsystems, all seeking to extract resources to make money and grow in order to make more money and grow more. That system long precedes neoliberalism, and it's called capitalism. The owners get wealthier and wealthier, while many of the rest of us work more for less money, if we can find a job at all after transnational outsourcing and greater deployment of robots. Now I'm going to this clip of David Dole. He is showing clips also. His clips are of a professor named Richard Wolff, whom you'll see in just a moment.
And then on top of it, you're caught up in a system in which the employer has every incentive and every interest to squeeze the part that's paid to you, thereby increasing what's left over for him in what you produce. Get more out of you, give less to you. It's endless, isn't it? Get you to do a little task extra. Get you to go quicker to the bathroom. Make sure you come on time and don't leave early. You get the picture? Always, always. And if there's a machine that can make you more productive or make you unnecessary, oh boy, will it be engaged quickly. Impact on you? Who cares? You spend the best days and the best hours of your adult life in an institution that tells you in 1,000 ways, I don't give a shit about you. In capitalism, of course, you are, as Marx loved to say, free. And here's what the freedom means. You can leave the employer and go find another one, hoping against hope that the other one won't treat you as nastily as the one you just left did. A long shot and a very constricted notion of what freedom means.
Richard Wolff lays it out. Now, I want to go a little bit into the profit motive aspect of all this, because profits that these companies make, these massive companies, they don't benefit the employees of these companies. I mean, you'd think if your labor is producing the company lots and lots of money, lots and lots of profit, shouldn't that benefit you? Doesn't that mean that your labor helped to create that? But that's not what happens. All you have to do is read the headlines every week. I mean, you had GM close 5 plants, laid off 14,000 people. So, I guess that means GM was doing terrible, right? No, GM made $2.5 billion in profit the previous quarter. $2.5 billion in profit in the previous quarter. The next quarter, they close 5 plants, lay off 14,000 people. Where are the benefits going to? The top, obviously, they spent 295 times more than the average GM worker makes on CEO pay alone. $22 million. The CEO makes $22 million, 295 times more than the average GM worker. That's where the money goes. They spent $14 billion on stock buybacks to artificially inflate their own stock. Received $3.29 billion in taxpayer-funded bailout money in 2008. This is a company living off of taxpayers. And where does all their money go? to the top of these companies, to the executives. This is not a healthy system. This is a rigged system. It's not even just broken, it's rigged. It's rigged for those that already have wealth and already have power.
And there you have it. The people who work for those transnational corporations who outsource the jobs are the two-faced corporate sock puppets. They're the ones who decide what the rules will be. Actually, the transnational corporations decide what the rules will be. They write them themselves, and then they pay the sock puppets to put them into place. How many politicians are not sock puppets? How many politicians do we know of who will not work on behalf of those huge, or as Bernie would say, huge corporations? This is where we need to take a stand. This is where we need to work together to unrig the system that David and Richard were talking about. This is a tough row to hoe. We all feel in this movement now, we feel that we're pushing up against people that are a lot more powerful than we are. We get banned on Facebook and on Twitter. We get thrown in Facebook jail and Twitter jail. We keep trying to get the word out. We need more help. We need more volunteers with strong voices who are willing to spread the word about what's going on in our economy, how that affects us workers, and also how it affects people in other parts of the world, innocent people, hardworking people in other parts of the world. There's a lot more to say on this topic, but this is a good start on what we're up against and why we need a revolution.